Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of the Carving to Powder Transitioning series. Today I'll be talking about skis, widths, rocker, and combers. For me personally, the ski for powder is a big deal. There is no way, absolutely no way, I would be able to learn powder on my carving skis. Those just simply too small, tiny, both in lengths and widths. They sink, go under, and in order to float, the speed has to be way above my comfortable level. The lift, the force that floats the ski above the surface, is proportional to the surface of the ski, S, multiplied by velocity squared. In order to increase the lift, you have to gain some speed, and then this lift increases and exceeds your weight, you start to float. This is very similar to aircraft in the air, or the surfboard, or the wave on the wave, or windsurfer skimming on top of the water, or a water skier. Snow is very similar to the water or air in this regard. All of those things start to float when the lift reaches the weight. When weight equals lift, there is vertical equilibrium and the thing is not falling down and floats. So you have two options to grow your lift. Increase the speed and or increase the surface of the ski. So to start powder skiing with your skis, you need to give yourself some speed, and only as you reach certain threshold, only then you start floating. This creates a problem when you're learning, because on the piste, you can ski and learn and gain confidence with very little speed, and on the powder, you can't. So in order to decrease the speed threshold, you increase the surface. Bigger surface means less speed when you start to float. It is very similar to learning to water ski. The biggest problem is this initial yank from standstill to planing speed. Of course, snow is a bit more complex than water. For example, you don't sink in the snow. You pack the snow if you tramp it down, and this creates additional platform to support you. This also happens when you ski powder. You create a platform that supports you. But again, it is much easier to create a platform if you're standing in the bottomless powder with the snowshoes. And similarly, it is easier to create the snow platform on the wide ski than on the narrow one. Either way, the ski surface is your biggest friend. Let me give you an example. Increasing the width only from 65 mm under the foot to say 92 mm give you 40% increase in surface, which roughly translates into 20% decrease in required speed. You can go 20% slower to start floating. If you further increase width from 92 to 118, this is 28% increase, which translates in additional 13% decrease in required speed. This is huge. It is amazing that it took ski industry forever to come up with those wide skis, and only after invention of snowboarding. And again, it is exactly because of the big surface snowboards gain their initial advantage in the powder. Today the surface of powder ski about the same as the surface of the snowboard, and hence they are very competitive. So what number is good for you? 90, 100, 110, 118. I can speak only for myself. For me, the magic number is 118. This width allows me to float on the easiest, flattest terrain available on my favorite ski hill. If they would groom it, it would be the easiest green run. No steep at all. By the way, it is a huge advantage. On powder days, those runs are not crowded, because if you don't have wide enough ski, you can't gain enough speed to start floating, and majority of the crowd do not have wide ski. Check this run. It is very low angle, and I'm enjoying it to the fullest. But check all those tracks from narrow skis. Guys and gals, we are not skiing it, just destroying the powder. Alternatively, when I'm in backcountry, I actually like the low aspect runs. Those are not avalanche prone. Anyway, surface is an easy concept to understand, and those are just numbers. The second thing I'll be talking about is a rocker. It is more of a voodoo. but it's really a fantastic invention. I bought my first rocker ski in 2012. I skied it 2 days in all possible conditions, and then I came to the car and cried, because I realized that I lived in vain, skiing very ugly skis all my life. In pure, untouched virgin snow, the advantage of the rocker is minimal. The rocker excels in the broken powder and in the crud. On the powder day in the resort, you can enjoy the pure virgin untracked powder first 2, maximum 3 runs, if you know the hill ski fast and lucky. After that, it is all broken. Before the rocker ski, it was quite difficult to ski huge 115mm skis in the crud. With the rocker skis, you ski broken powder and crud till 4 p.m. and it is essentially very similar to your first run. Same skatey, slippery surfing feeling. Essentially, the rocker ski is very forgiving. Think about tips and tails as soft shock absorbers. You engage those only when needed, when skiing powder, virgin or crowd, like the crowd I am skiing right now. It is very important that the middle section has a camber, and it is very important that the ski has a shape. On my favorite K2 Obsess, the tip is 141, 117 underfoot, and the tail is 131, as it's a parabolic carving ski and I can easily carve it on the groomed runs. Also, the middle section is quite stiff with just 3mm camber. The last note is about ski tuning, or more precisely about edge sharpening. In one word, no, don't do it, unless of course you like to catch an edge. Edge sharpening is very important for carving on the hardpack, but in pure snow where you side slide all the time, it is absolutely unnecessary. Skiing snow is very similar to surfing. Has anyone saw a surfboard with a rather sharp edges? Tune and fix your bases, of course, filling the big holes with epoxy and such, but leave edges dull on your snow skis. The bottom line, wide, soft, rocker ski with cambered middle section is absolutely a must for carving to powder transition. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode number 3, which will be an overview of the 4 essential primary technical skills in powder that are very different from carving skills. And if you like the video, please click the subscribe button. Your subscribing click will go a long way. Thank you.